and Rebecca and Elise jumping right in from even before we even start. Good to see you guys, and you're welcome, Rebecca. Let me just pop over for a minute and get Instagram going. So good to see you. We're April 1st, so we're going to have a good session today. It's been a hell of a week for me. Hey, and Karen, yeah, I want to start out by saying, because I've been going through this, so it's been a really intense clearing of a couple of really deep layers. And the way it happened for me, so just in case that comes up for you, or it reminds you of what you're going through, sometimes it's like waking up in the middle of the night and I can feel this layer of weird stuff all around me, and having to navigate through that and get through that. So sometimes layers are really deep and they kind of get triggered by stuff on the external, but then they're also, you're ready to deal with them at the surface. And sometimes, and this was happening to me, this really, really thick layer, and I'm like trying to figure out, I'm sitting there laying in bed at night, dark, and I'm trying to figure out how to get through that. Nothing's coming to mind. Nothing is coming to mind. And finally, just reaching for, one of my tools outside of myself. So it's really easy to be in a place where we're like, shit, I could have done this myself. It's like, why didn't I push to get through and do this myself and be strong enough to do this myself? So don't do that to yourself. Well, and yes, we want to be able to be at that place where we're just pushing through and doing it for ourselves. But sometimes it's like just there's too much, and being able to reach for something external to us, and we just want to make sure it's a good source to give us support to help us get through into a little bit, get through and through better. And just kind of say, you did the best you can. Tell yourself that. Don't say, oh God, why can't I have done this myself? Stop right there and come back. If you do start going in that line of thinking, it's just, no, it's like, I would have liked to have done it myself, but hey, I did the best I could. I was just too taken over by this and I couldn't get enough clearing, but hey, I reached out and got help. So be okay with that. And El Saba, hello, and Sydney, good to see you guys. So I want to say that because sometimes you can be going through stuff that's very, very challenging. And so do the best you can. And when needed, just to like get into a holding place for yourself, into a little bit higher ground for yourself, so that you can look back at the situation. It's like, okay, what could I have done better for myself next time? If this comes up again, what can I do? What can I do better? It's like, oh, there's this. Yeah, I didn't think of that in the moment, And also when you get to a higher place, and as you move up, the higher up you move up, the more it's important for you to stand on your own. And so the guidance that you may be used to getting, kind of, your angels or your higher self basically coming through and telling you, it's like, okay, get that sense, all of a sudden might start not coming up for you because you got to figure it out for yourself. So I so get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, and we can get into that performance thing, right? And that perfection thing, and we've got to be good things. So a lot of religious programming in that, and just say, hey, no, we're doing the best we can, and we are doing the goddamn best we can. You look at what everything, we're really getting pushed these days to really clean up as much as possible. Still have that cool energy around my solar plexus, face blue wide eye. Okay, well, keep working with that. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of finding that point that is hooking it into you, and so you can kind of get this from the external thing, but then the internal part, it's like, okay, what am I still holding on to? Because there's still that little anchor. And sometimes it's like you've got that anchor point right there, and then you've got to clear all the way around because there's all these connecting threads to it. Kind of thing. I am feeling that feeling pushed to a higher level very strongly. Yeah, this Oracle Girl emerging full on last 10 days or so. Lots of stuff. I thought I shifted. I haven't. You have. So re, restate that last thought for yourself. Lots of stuff. I thought I shifted. I haven't. Okay. Sit with that one, and I want to see you write that differently in the chat. How would you say that where it really shows actually what actually happened? Because it's like that ties into what I was just saying a minute ago. It's like, and I'll say it in a different way. It's like you're reaching for that high state of perfection, and your jump didn't get to that. So you're saying, well, I haven't shifted. What? So take a look at that. How can you say that more positively and reflecting more of what actually happened for you? Yeah. Good work. Good, everybody. Yeah, and just it's really intense. So for those of you doing the Oracle Girl silent immersion, yeah, and it's coming at a very intense time, very intense. And things keep going more and more intense. And until we get to that other side, it's just going to be that way. So we have to keep holding strong and keep coming, come into this space. That's why I have this space. It's to really just have that extra space. I know you guys have a lot of other people that you go to, which is great. Or maybe not a lot, but at least a couple other people that you go to, and that's good. That's fine. And then come, this also to be in a space that's more higher oriented. Thank you. I knew I was slightly off. I am shifting into a high level being. I'm connecting to my purest essence in the moment. Okay. So and specifically, so that's a nice affirmation. Specifically, how would you state what happened? Because I'm not hearing that in what you wrote. You're just affirming that you're going higher. But if you look at what, instead of saying, I thought I shifted, ... I haven't. How would you how would you restate that to express what happened in relative to that? See if you can do that. Just a little challenge there. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath in. Settle in, settle down, settle into your environment. And also another thing is I want to say is take care of your adrenals. Give them the support they need during these times, because that will be really stressful. Any kind of energetic, emotional, mental, as well as physical stress is gonna be real hard on the adrenals. So support them well in these moments. Yeah. So let's take another nice deep breath in. Holding it at the top for 5, 6, 7 count, maybe 10. And then releasing it out. And coming back into that just regular breath, focusing on your breathing, so the chest, becoming aware of your physical chest and the movement of the breath in your body. Okay. So yeah, quite a bit of you are a little stuck on that part. Okay. I'm you're saying some nice stuff, and you're saying some great stuff. Um, but if you were talking to me, so I'll see if I can say that in another way. Uh, um, you're just this is good because I'm going to push you a little bit on this one. It's like you're talking to me about full on last 10 days or so, very strongly, lots of stuff coming up. If you're in that phrase, in that conversation, what is the next thing you're going to say instead of I thought I shifted, I haven't? Lots of strong, so I'm going to say it again. Really strong, lots of stuff coming on these last 10 days or so. Lots of stuff. Da, 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 da. So it's interesting. You're kind of working your way around that, but not landing where I'm wanting you to land. Because when you can actually say that, that would be a really good shift. Even though everything you're saying is fine, but just kind of like land this one, and you're not quite landing it. Just changing that literally. So everybody, so everybody, take a look at this because this is really good. So we can learn to rewrite what we're saying. So here, Sydney is saying, feeling pushed to a higher level really strongly, immersion full on the last 10 days or so, lots of stuff. And what she says was lots of stuff. I thought I shifted, ... I haven't. Okay, what I'm asking her to do, and so try it for yourselves. How would you rewrite that last part? It's full on. Everything's coming on full on. Lots of stuff coming up. Lots of stuff. And so that last part, I thought I shifted and I haven't. How could you say what is like in the moment, what's happening, what's been happening to you in something that's really actually what's happening? Because if you say lots of stuff I thought I shifted and I haven't, you're still in, you've looped around. You haven't moved actually. You're just like, I'm still here. There's all this stuff happening and I'm still here. And that's not really what happened, is it? I think there's more that happened. So, all right, nice deep breath in. Release it all down completely. And as you release, reach down to the core of the new earth. Okay, there's generally there's this peace around people, generally speaking. It's not coming up with specifics, but for all of you, it's like it's almost like you're wearing a hoodie on your head and your shoulder and a little bit down your back a little bit. So come into your breath, focus on the breath for a minute. Okay, nice, another nice try. Try again. Keep going at it, Sydney. Keep seeing what else, how you could finish that sentence so that it really portrays, I'll give you a hint, something more positive than what you wrote about what actually happened. I feel that determination to figure this one out. Good for you. All right, so gently drop your awareness down to the core, all the way down to the core of the earth. Don't try to push out, come into yourself and drop down into the earth. All the way down, yeah. Yeah, so people are slowly, some people are dropping faster than others, so slowly, that's fine. Just keep kind of letting yourself drop down, 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 down. Yeah. There's a lot of density. Gosh, I think it's a little bit the weak. Dropping down. Let yourself keep dropping down. Keep aiming for that core, that new earth. There we go. And sitting, put that one aside because you're kind of your mind is kind of getting wrapped up. We'll come back to it. Just let yourself drop into the core of the earth. It feels like math class. Yeah, that's fine. So just put it aside for a minute. So I miss my. I'll take a look at that in a minute, Elzava. All right. Well, we'll take a look at that, Sydney, in a minute. Let's focus on just connecting into the earth. So Alzava, focus on what we're doing right now. And focusing on connecting to the earth. And even when you're on water, it feels a little bit more fluid. It is more fluid, but the water's on the earth. So you might need to reach a little further down through the water, but it's like being in a building. You need to reach further down through the building into the earth. Just that, like in surf, because if something's moving, then that pushes your skill to stay in that center. It's like if you're going on a carnival ride or merry-go-round, it's like to keep that center in yourself. So dropping down to the core of the earth, really focus on what this feels like. And let's just anchor in. This is also really good for your adrenals. For that stress, it's building up. That stress pulls us up. We want to come back down. And it can take a little bit of time. When we're just like, yeah, all over the place up here. And you just got to, even if you start by focusing on your knees, and then to your ankles, hold that for a while, and then core of the earth. You can also do it incrementally because that will help you come down and won't be such a big jump from up here to all the way down here, right? So feel yourself anchored into the earth. Okay. And keep breathing into that. So I'm going to kind of focus on what Elzava's bringing up. But every one of you, we all find ourselves in that place in some context or another. And maybe not necessarily very often, but once in a while in that weak point, and we're all of a sudden all over the place. Yeah, good for you, Sydney. So focus. So just kind of focus in on the earth. Come back down to the earth. Notice how writing something pulls you up, and that's all right. Just use that to kind of like, oh yeah, see what that feels like. Let's come back down. So everybody feel that connection to the earth. Feel that plumb line within the core of your being, dropping down to the core of the earth. So I picture a circular space around me, but it doesn't hold. Okay, first of all, the problem is that is being able to hold that non-physical level in a physical environment. So take a step back from that non-physical space of your field around you and come into your physical body. So that will anchor you more and stabilize you more deeply. Because, okay, so feel into that. I'm going to ask you, something in a minute, but I want you to really feel that physical anchoring into the physical earth here. And feel how your body feels. Feel how that feels. Feel like there should be kind of like this sense of almost like being weighted down. I can't see my hands, but that's, as opposed to being up here when you kind of really put your awareness to the earth, and you might have to hold on to that for a little bit because there's so much going on up here, and drop it down. Drop it down, and you can it starts to kind of feel like there's a weight there. Yeah. Is that making sense, Elzava? And everybody else. This is kind of working in the context of a surf lineup, but in any situation, So first, feel that for yourself right here, right now. So you're out of that context, and get real familiar with that right here, right now. So all of you, feel that anchoring, that connection to the earth. It's almost you have your feet down on the ground. It's like dropping all the way down, 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 down. Your feet are just cemented in there. Yeah. And for all of you, so I'm just going to use Elzava as an example, but for all of you, whatever, like something is pulling me down, and yeah, so there's that sense of like being pulled down. Yeah, that will, because you're dropping down. Instead of being all up here, you're dropping down. Feels like what stage fright feels like. Oh, that's a really interesting one. All right. So here's a question for you, Karen. It's like, why? What is that about? Where is that coming from? You get anchored. You get more present in yourself. What does your system? Oops. We got a little connection issue. Okay, we're back. All of a sudden, everything went, dropped. So what is that? You come into your being, you get anchored in more, and your system freaks out. So stage fright is a nice way to put it. What is stage fright about? Stage, being up on stage, having the light's full on you. What does your system think is going to happen next? Yeah, so Elzava, heart palpitations going on. I'm breathing. Yeah. So kind of so much grief coming up. Yeah. So all of those. So Elzava, coming back to your example, feel that anchoring into you. You're anchoring down. Now bring to mind that crowded surf lineup. And where do you feel yourself getting off, getting pulled off? Anchoring down feels like I'm depressed. Ooh, sober, but also calm. Yeah, good one. And grief, like you said, about me needing to float in the past. Yeah. So all of these are not what I would call, being seen. Yeah. So what's going to happen when you're seen? Good one. Good catch. So that grounding coming, so all of what you guys are bringing up, which is really good. You're feeling it because you're actually letting yourself drop down. So you're in the space where you're going, okay, it's okay to do that. Oddly, I feel pulled from my chest area as well as my back. Okay, there's yeah. So I'll come back to that in a minute. So what's happening is that the reason you guys haven't been anchored in very well or grounded is that you've got this stuff you don't want to feel or you haven't wanted to feel. Maybe you felt a little bit, but then you're dropping down and it's like your system's going, you're hitting those, you're hitting those and you're feeling that. So excellent. Good for you for letting yourself feel it. Because before it was just you kind of stay up there and you kind of let yourself, so it's like all this stuff you don't want to feel is here and you're up here and you're kind of letting yourself drop down a little bit and it's like, okay, I'm grounded, but there's still this stuff. So it's like you're getting to that place. And to be in the heart, you really need to move through all that stuff. Okay, Elzava, oddly enough, I feel pulled from my chest, torso area. So I'm not quite sure with the pulled from. What I notice, but it ties in, but maybe it's the way you're saying it is how you're just experiencing, but I'm seeing it. It's all of a sudden your chest area goes, and that feels like a lot of fear that's connected to that, as well as my back. Yeah, so your heart space, front, back, yeah, upper back will connect up. Yeah. So ask yourself that question. What is that about? Where's that coming from? Why is that coming up? Oh yeah, exactly. Yes. So that's the next question for you. Is like, well, why is that coming up? What's behind that? Yeah. So you're feeling it. We're just kind of maybe saying it in a little bit different way, but you're coming to this area, which is the key thing. Yeah. So, right, big. Wow. And let yourself just sit and feel that. It's like, and be okay with feeling that because that's allowing it to come to the surface. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I get the sense that my arms are vibrating like someone's pushing it down on them. Okay. Only happens when I'm doing something like this. It seems to come from my heart and chest. All right. Explore that. Explore that. Let yourself feel that. And it's like, okay, where's this coming from? Where's this going? Maybe where is this starting from? is this coming from around you, what you're feeling? And around you, it's your energy, you know, what you're holding energetically. Or is it something from within you? Okay. Slowly clearing up. This is good. So all that heaviness that you guys were carrying at the beginning, that's slowly shifting off, lightening up. So I'm going to let you stew a little bit in this. But keeping grounded, keeping just in that grounding space. Knowing that you're held by the earth here. And of course me, I'm kind of facilitating that, but so it doesn't happen every time I'm still and quiet. Yeah, so explore that one a little bit. Here, for some reason, you are opening up that door for something else to come up. So it's like, well, who is that? What is that? And so being seen by who? What's going to happen if you're seen? Lots of grief. Yeah, and the grief coming up. So all of this, really good stuff, guys. Lots of loss. Yeah. When we, and needing to pull out because there's too much in that moment when it first started hitting you. There was just too much to go through. And it was about just being able to get through to the next moment, to the next moment, to the next moment, to the next moment. So let's just put that here behind us. Lots of loss. What happened? The pressure in my heart lightened. Okay, then it's kind of let that shift a little bit for yourself. So good, good. There was a little release there. Sometimes all it takes is just a little acknowledgement for where you're at. And it's like, okay, that's safe because somebody's actually seen me instead of seeing what they want to see in me, if that makes sense. So being truly seen as you are and just saying, yeah, hey, I see you, as opposed to being seen for what somebody else wants you to be, and judging you if you're not that, in that place, that way. So let's take a nice deep breath in, gather in all of this stuff in your breath, like you're just blowing up a balloon, except you just, as you breathe in, you're just bringing it all together, everything, all that, whatever is coming up for you, and then hold it for a little bit, feel that, and then on the exhale, just blow it away. Like you're just blowing off the dandelion, but it's just going off from you. So being seen and being recognized, that makes sense. And sometimes being seen because you're not actually being seen, because what's happening is the external is projecting an image onto you. And so not seeing you, they're seeing the image that they want to see in you, in that external part, external to them, not external to you. And so that's not really being seen. So that gets convoluted for us because it gets all jumbled up, and we being seen originally meant somebody's throwing that image on me and judging me, so not really seeing me, but the two get mixed up. The two get meshed in, and so being seen means being judged and not really being truly seen and recognized or acknowledged. Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of tears in there. I feel a lot of tears for you, Karen, with that one. Yeah. So yeah, deep breath in. Let's deep breath in and drop back down into the core of the new earth. Oh, big difference, everybody. From when we did that a little bit earlier. I see that it is a survival and past imprint pattern when I look at my area at your chest space, I assume. See if you can see that your heart, who it's connected to. I see a specific person there. See if you can get a sense of that for yourself. You saw yourself, I'm going to correct, you saw yourself in a pure state, because to see yourself in an actually pure state takes a lot of clearing up. But you're seeing yourself in a pure state, yeah. So, yeah, good. So, yeah, it's a lot more easeful, it's a lot more positive in that dropping down into the pure state. What about you, Rebecca? I think that's everybody on the call. Yeah. Well, those tears are inside, so you just have to let yourself gently drop into that, because that was a protection mechanism not to cry. Because otherwise, I don't know, maybe you would have gotten hit or beaten up or punished or in some, verbally, physically, energetically. So you just need to get into a safer place inside yourself, of being more connected to yourself for that to happen. But it's there, yeah. And you'll get there, okay? Just tell yourself, it's like, okay, this isn't easy. It'll be good to release this, and let's keep just dropping into that. I feel the pure, but almost like I'm backing up, feeling unworthy. Almost, almost like you're not quite holding it. So yeah, you're kind of backing up a little bit, but it's, yeah. So breathe into that one. My dad or my grandma, I have a sense. Yeah, I see your dad. It's not that your grandma's not in there, but I see your dad popped up firsthand. So, then it's like, well, what is that about? A loss of love, or this disconnect that happened at some point between you and your dad, and lost love with that child and parent. Yeah. Grandma's a little different. There's a little different thing in there with grandma. Yeah. Oof. So sorry, Karen. Yeah, that's a pretty deep pain. I feel like I can't cry now. Well, don't force yourself to cry. It all feels so heavy beyond crying. Don't, just be where you are and just be okay with that. Yeah. 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 Well, lots of stuff coming up here for people. So just in becoming just into that space. Really good, guys. So let's just drop into the core of the earth and fatigue. So this will be good for the fatigue. So Alzava, coming back to that, that it's that loss of connection with love, but then there that sense of that judgment and coming, getting mixed in with that. So you get into that surf lineup and you feel that, that comes up for you and you want to be good, you want to be seen, you want to be acknowledged and that judgment and just all of that getting mixed up, if that makes sense for you. Yeah, so let's take a nice deep breath in, hold it for a minute, and then for a few counts, and then when you exhale, just like exhale it all that stuff, just blow it out. Just and I'll get to your comments in a little bit. Oh, good one, Elzava. Okay, so dropping down, let's drop into the core of the earth. Feel that core of the earth. Let's take this moment now to shift into that pace and allowing yourself to be in that earth, being held by the earth, letting all the rest just kind of drop away. And Rebecca, I hope you're hanging in there. And letting yourself feel the earth around you, holding you. Yeah. I'm good. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure you are okay. Yeah. There we go. Opening up into that, pure state, into that brilliance coming through. It hurts. Wow. Yeah. Well, you're actually connecting to what has been there that you've just been pulling away from. So let yourself kind of feel into that, breathe into that hurt. So good. That's good because that's coming through and it's in the process of releasing. Yeah. Feels tender. Yeah. So very nice. Kind of just getting into cleaner space here for everyone. Everybody's getting to just more brilliance, more lightness. So very nice. Yeah. I don't want the spinal tightness anymore. Yeah. Okay, I'll look at that back up because I have to focus it on a little bit more clearly, and I want to focus on the space here. So everybody just opening up. Just the whole group is relaxing more really nicely. Opening up. Yeah, very nice. Everybody just in a lighter space. So just keep letting yourself be in that space. Let me run through these again. Let's see, I think I talked about that. Oh, yeah, here we go. Question Oracle Girl said years ago, what do you feel so guilty about? Yeah, really, you have to ask yourself that question because we've been programmed so deeply that we are sinful, dirty, bad. So you feel guilty because there's this image that you're supposed to be that and you're not. There's guilt and inability to feel anymore, just being done. And how it relates to physical heaviness. Yeah, and so, I think I brought that up once, but it's like all of a sudden noticing, like myself, it's like tightening up to, just really straining to connect with myself. It's like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I straining to, tightening up to connect with myself? I am already connected with myself. So there's a lot of like, so that, for example, coming from a place of feeling like you have to push. What are you feeling so guilty about? So, or feeling that tightness, it's that sense of self relative to an external situation. So guilt because it's always you're being seen as bad and you're supposed to be something else. It's like that's deep religious programming there. There's a guilt. So, yeah, thank you. So fell back onto the bed so much lighter. Yeah, stuff releasing around my mother having to be on for me as a child, not able to do this kind of stuff herself, even though she tried. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of fear in your mother. And so she was kind of trying, but not trying all the way because she couldn't, there's a lot that she couldn't let go of. So there's trying, but it felt to me it feels like it was superficial actually in comparison to what she would have really helped her bloom. Obviously I knew I was carrying it, but not so much consciously. Yeah. Yes. Hurts. Okay. Feeling tender. Yeah. So the tenderness. So that vulnerability, that tenderness is that vulnerability, and of just probably really as a little girl, whenever your parents separated, just having this open love for your dad. And there's a particular age where kids just all kids, at first it's like mom, 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 mom. Then they hit a certain age, and I'm not quite sure what that is, if it's like around 3 or 4 or something like that. And it's dad, 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 dad. And they just like totally enamored with they just want to be dad, 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 and forget mom, okay, we're done with mom. We're like, no, we know her. We've already been hanging out with her. One dad, 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 and so there's this a tremendous love that children have for their parents, and I'd say regardless of how hard or how loving their parents were with them, there's just that's deeply in there, and even below the hate, anger when that comes up because of the what comes up with families kind of thing. So just being so open, and then he turns around and he sees his children as that reminder of having lost maybe this woman he loved, and that going sour, whatever happened between them. And it's that reminder, and maybe it's a reminder of he didn't do what he was supposed to do. He was not the man he was supposed to do, God knows what. So guilt on him that he's carrying, and then he sees you, and it's like he can't deal with it because it's a reminder for him. You can see how convoluted that gets really quickly, and then all you feel is that your dad just going boom, shutting down that connection because it hurts him, and he's not able to be in a place of feeling that hurt, but staying connected with his children nonetheless, kind of thing. So yeah, and then you feel it in your heart, and it's closing down, and it's like then it's showing up, and so you can take a look at a little further, and it's like, well, why the surf lineup? Because you want to do good, because you want to be good at that. You want to be seen as being good, and here it's bringing up all this stuff. It's like, well, if I'm getting seen, and there's another piece about getting seen here, it's going to bring up all this pain. I had an insight that entities are not what I thought. They are beliefs. So I'm understanding that, see, because maybe the punctuation is not quite in the same place in my mind as what you're saying. So entities are not what I thought, period. They are beliefs. Am I getting that right? So I'm reading it that way. Yes and no. Thoughts, beliefs, thoughts, period, can become so energized and so potent that they literally become, they really take on form and become alive at the energetic level, and will throw you around like entities. But it depends. I have a different definition of entities. So yeah, this could be seen in entities because they take on such a life form and become a living thing, a living entity, but like a separate living thing, entity in that way. But there are things that I would classify as entities that are oogie boogie energies that might come from other things than thoughts. Much lightness. Yeah, thank you. Good. My mother was so much in fear. Yeah, she tries. Has so much fear. She has a lot of falsity, though. Falsity. Okay, from divorce, serious abuse. She recently reached out with a voicemail, and I just don't know what to do. A good one. Sit with that. Let yourself feel that. And if you don't know what to do, you're in that place of, it's like, if I answer, this is taking me down this road. Is that the road I want to go down? What is that? What is answering her voicemail, going in that direction? Where is that taking you? Because if you're saying, I don't know what to do, now you're really feeling, I think, probably where you've been before with your mother, but haven't acknowledged it. You've been in that role of maybe holding strong for her and staying on top of it, keeping it together, being in your head, really strong abilities, hold, mentally, and holding all that together. And all of a sudden, you're really feeling where you've always been all along. It's like, well, I don't really want to go down that way. I don't want to go in that place again because I don't feel good about that. And you're also feeling maybe that place of, well, it's your mom. We're supposed to help our parents. So everybody listen to this because we all have to go through this. We're supposed to be taking care of our parents. We're supposed to be that. We're supposed, but she's doing everything she can. Okay. She's got all these things that she went through. So we give ourselves a lot of reasons for saying, yeah, but she's having a hard time. It should be good. It's like, come back to yourself for a minute. Are you strong enough to go in there and hold yourself and not get thrown off? If you aren't, hold back. You want to be in that place. You cannot. So, analogy of somebody who's in swimming, you cannot help a sinking person if they're like pulling you down, dragging you down, and you can't stay afloat. You're not going to save that drowning person if you can't stay afloat. So sit with that one. My money piece just shifted more. Yeah, good. So little by little, I'm getting over to a certain milestone in my bank account. Yay. And now I just caught myself limiting again a new number. Why? Because you're slowly opening up. You're not going to be opening up because you're that financial piece is tied to you being connected with yourself. So it's incremental. Opening up to more. You're getting used to that level, and it's like that new number. It's like okay, there's a new stretch for you. So another challenge. It feels weird to have this open. Yeah, it feels weird. Let yourself get accustomed to it. It's kind of brand new kind of feeling. It's like wearing those new shoes. Okay, it feels kind of weird, but they're kind of nice. So yeah. At a young age, I wanted to make him happy and proud. Might sound weird. I had a sense that it was my fault. No, it doesn't sound weird at all. That is, typical, kind of classical thing that happens to kids. So, yeah. So if you're out there on that surf lineup and you don't do well, it's bringing up that I want him to be happy and proud of me. Yes, she said she's willing to do whatever it takes to mend things. Okay. So saying that you're willing to do something and actually doing things are two different things. Okay. Two different things. Yes. You bring up manipulation. So it's like I'm really willing to do something. It's like an addict, and she's basically acting like an addict. So you really have to look at that one. The addict saying, no, I really want to get off drugs. I really want, and I'll give them that. Yeah, they probably really want to, but actually doing it is a totally different thing. And unless they're doing it, you got to step back. Again, you cannot help, but you cannot save a drowning person if you're sinking yourself. So you say it all that it's been laced with such disappointment and manipulation, hard, and just say no more. And notice that it's like step back. It's like I hit 1K and then some of it is gone. The fear returns. I'm aiming for 2K, and it's like a mini marathon. Yes, keep at it. Yes. So it's always that slow progression. All right, really good session, guys. I can't believe it's already been an hour. Very quickly on it's gonna be for those of you doing SR silent retreat, immersion retreat. On the 29th. So it's the 29th of April is the 5th Wednesday of the month. So we're going to do a special. I would ask you to be. I'm trying to figure this out because I kind of would like to do it for a more private thing. But what I'm going to do is just leave it public, and I might like that particular stream is like shifted to private online, and you can still access it. You'll just need to get in touch with me to get the link. Um, so that but it's going to focus on the heart, and we're just starting to get into that. There's a lot to get into with the heart, and just being able to come into the heart. A lot of clearing that needs to happen to really be in the heart, but stay in the heart, because we can kind of come down these little moments, and then other moments we're not there, right? So really good session. And just, oops, let's see. For those of you, I'm going to flash my QR code. Oh, and there you go. My screen is doing all sorts of weird things. There we are. A little slow. Also, I'm on Telegram. I've got a little channel on Telegram. It is a private channel because there's too much riffraff that gets into stuff out there, and just to make it a safer space. So unbounded and free if you're on Telegram and you want to join there, because I kind of post some thoughts that come up to share. Find me there. Thank you for holding the space. I hope to book a one-on-one session with you soon. Okay, great. And thank you, Karen. Thank you, Zava. Hey, go nail that surf lineup. And let us know how you do. So Rebecca, Karen, and Elise. Oh, Elise, you've been like really quiet. Popped in at the beginning. I know I saw your name up there. Going back, so I was pretty sure I saw Elise. Yes, Elise. So you've been really quiet. So I hope you're got all good on your end through this powerful session, as always, you guys. So really good. Have a good rest of your week. Next week is a offline, and so join in same time it's a way to connect at that deeper level. We are always connected at that deeper level, but making that more conscious in your experience. So real good. Thank you all for stopping by. I really enjoy these, and it's fun to have you pop in as well. So take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your week, and see you next time offline. And the next time that we are live is on the 15th. So take care, everybody.